Hi everyone, it's Arati Singh. I'm a trustee for Austin I.S.D. I want to thank the Girls Empowerment Network and the Excellence and Advancement Foundation for having me here with you today. Really excited to be around people who are just big believers in using your voice. There are three things I think that every person needs to know and when they're thinking about how to advocate for something they care about. The first thing is to find out something that you really can get behind. I'll tell you, for me, the first advocacy issue that I really took to heart was when I was in college, and I became very passionate about migrant farm workers and just the work that they did, the living conditions and the working conditions that they endured were not good, and there was no one advocating where I was living in North Carolina for migrant farm workers who mostly were coming from Mexico and were mostly just trying to get a better life for them and their families. And so it was really important for me to educate my community about this other community that we depended on but didn't really even know that much about. And that led to my getting my first job teaching elementary school with children of migrant farm workers. And so I think, so the first thing is find the thing that really gets you excited. It could be something kind of obscure, or it could be something that everybody knows about. It doesn't really matter. If you care about it and you're authentic about it, that's all you really need. I would say the second thing is be able to articulate what it is that why do you care about this? Why does this injustice make you mad? How would the world would be better if this issue were addressed? So come up with answers, and that sometimes requires doing a little bit of research. And the third thing I would say is really the most fun part, and that is getting other people on board. Once you have identified something you're passionate about, you talk to other people, it's pretty easy to get folks on board. All you have to do is just make a connection, invite them to a conversation, and get their opinions on things and show interest in the things that they're also passionate about, and it'll just go from there. And so those are the kinds of lessons that I've learned in my career. When I decided to run for school board, I was really passionate about noticing that a lot of our Hispanic and our Black students who graduated from AISD were not going to college. And when you look at the data, you see that if you don't go to college, if you don't get a college degree, you only have a 12% chance of earning a living wage. And I knew that I wanted all of the students who graduate from Austin ISD to be able to earn a living wage and support a family or do whatever it is that they wanted to do. And so that prompted me to start asking questions like, hey, why do we have so many teacher vacancies in some of our East Side schools? Or how come we don't offer that many AP classes in our East Side schools, but we have a lot of AP classes in our West Side schools? What does that say about our expectations of students? Why is it that we don't offer school buses to kids that live a mile away from their school? If you live in if you have a family that has a car and has a parent that's able to drive you to school, it's not a big deal. But unfortunately, we have hundreds of students, maybe thousands of students, who don't have cars, who don't have parents who can easily drive them to school. So they're having to walk maybe up to 2 miles to get to school every day. So what does that do to their attendance and, long term, their aspirations for college and all of that? So, that was what really drove me, and I talked about it so much that people were like, my friends were like, hey dude, you need to just run for school board because we're tired of listening to you. Maybe get some other people. And so that it just kind of went from there, and it's been so much fun because every day as a trustee, I'm learning something new. I'm getting fired up about one issue or another, and I'm learning from other people in the community who come to me with issues that they're passionate about. So I think that you are in such a great position to be part of the Girls Empowerment Network, because those are the people who are just think of them as tapping you on the shoulder and say, you know what, your voice matters, and I'm going to help you find it, and I'm going to help you make a change in the world. And so I'm really proud of all of you for being part of this organization. I want to just say happy birthday to the Girls Empowerment Network. You guys have done amazing work for our community, and I just support you 100%. So happy birthday. Thanks for having me.